Hello everyone, welcome to our channel again, Cloud Institution. So today in this video, we are going to see one of the very interesting concept, which is Terraform cycle error. Okay, so whenever we are working on Terraform, we'll be seeing a lot of different errors, right? So most common error when we are working on Terraform is that Terraform cycle error. So today we are going to see how are we going to, recover this error. Okay, so first of all, we want to understand that what is cycle error in Terraform. Okay, so Terraform cycle error, occurs when there is a circular logic in the dependency tree of resources. Okay, in infrastructure configuration means that if you are having two resources, okay, but both the resources are having a interdependency of each other. Okay, so so for example, I have two resources. Okay, so resource number one, resource number two. So in this case, if the resource number, okay, so if the resources or the first resource wanted to be created first, and then the second resource has to be wanted to create second. But if you are mentioning, both the resources has to be created at the same time, okay, but it has a dependency of each other. Okay, so we are going to see this thing in the demo, right? So if you see the demo, you'll be understanding it better. Okay, so that's, I mean, if you have both the resources having a dependency of each other, so none of the resources will create first. Okay, so that's what the concept is all about. So now we're going to see to the demo. Okay, now as you can see here, we have two resources. Okay, so we have already discussed about the depends on concept in the last video. If you have not watched, please go and watch the depends on video. Okay, so now I have a two resources. One is route table, and then okay, so route table and then the route. Okay, Azure route and then the route table. So now what happens is that first of all, it has to be route table has to be created first, and then the route should be created. Okay, so we have seen it, right? So in the last video we have seen that. If you have not seen the video, then you can see, go and watch the video. Okay, so now if you can do the Terraform plan and see what is going to be the what's going to be the output of this one. Okay, so it's just creating, because we already created a lot of other resources. Now if you can see here, I have I'm just checking, like, the two resources will be created. Okay, route table will be created, and then the route table will be created. Okay, so because it's not having any dependencies each other, it's going to be creating like this. But what happens is that whenever you are giving that depends on for one of the resources, okay, it'll be waiting for other resources to be created. Okay, so for example, if I give depends on and depends on this route table, okay, and then the sorry, so depends on this route table and dot, okay, route table. Okay, so if you do like this, it will going to be creating in a proper order. Okay, so the first it will be creating first, the first route table will create, and then the route will create. Okay, if you can see the plan, so the plan doesn't show anything. Okay, so just it will show that just two resources will be created. Okay, now what happens is that if I do Terraform apply, okay, I'm just telling that this resource will be depending upon this resource, because I just mentioned the route table name over here. Okay, that's the reason why it is just doing like this. Okay, I'm doing Terraform apply again. As you can see, it's gonna create the two resources in a proper order. Okay, first it will create this resource, and then followed by this resource will create. Okay, so if you give yes, okay, so first it's creating route table, and then it will create a route. Okay, so well and good, fair enough. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to destroy these two resources again. I'm going to make another dependency. Okay, for example, I'm going to destroy this. If I can comment it out, and if we apply it again, then it's gonna remove those two resources. Okay, if you can give yes, so it will be removing these two resources. Yes. Okay, so it can be removed in a fraction of a minute. Okay, now if you can go back to the code, and if you can comment uncomment out this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that i'm going to I'm going to do kind of a I'm going to create a dependency here also. For example, depends on, okay, this one. Good. Okay, I've done this one like this, right? So now what happens is that if you can do like this, now this resource, so this resource will depends on this one, this guy will depends on this guy. Okay, basically what it'll be telling is that, hey, you go and create first. This guy will tell to this guy will tell, hey, yeah, you go and create first. Okay, so it says like that. Okay, so basically nobody will create, right? So this is called as a cyclic dependency. Now if you can go back and do the Terraform apply again. Okay, so now see what's going to be happening. Okay, it's taking some time. So because it's we having a route table. Oh, sorry. I just made some mistake over here. I just have to give a route table here. Okay, so now I'm sorry. I'm just going to discard it and I'm going to apply again. Okay, if I do apply, so now you see. Okay, reference to undeclared resources. Where I'm making mistake. Okay, sorry. This is a route table route. Okay, route table route with this route. Okay, so this guy will be having dependency depend on this one, and this guy will have depends on this one. Okay, now if you can do apply. Okay, now as you can see here, cycle. Okay, error cycle Azure route table route and then Azure route. Okay, so it's having a interdependency interdependency of each other. That's the reason why it's giving the error cycle. So if you can get this kind of errors, what you have to do is that we have to watch closely that which resource should be created first, and then you have to remove the dependency on that one. Okay, for example, now I want to create a route table first and then the route. The reason being because I've just referenced route table name over here. Okay, so which means that I want to create the route table first for this one. Okay, so we have already seen this kind of a concept in the last video. Okay, so now in this case I have to remove this route table dependency, then it should be deploying perfectly. Okay, now you won't be able to see this cyclic error. Okay, in the Terraform, if you can give yes here, all right. So now it will be, you should be able to, so the first route table will be created and then followed by that route will be created inside the route table. Okay, so this is how you're going to fix this cyclic dependency error. Okay, so hope you understand this video. Okay, so if you have any questions, please leave your questions in the below comments. And thank you so much for watching. Okay, so please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Okay, and see you again in the next video.